I'm here with Kathy Bates, who is a death doula and has a history of social work and working in long-term care. Thank you for coming, Kathy. Welcome.
Thank you, Kathleen. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So to start off, what I'd love to hear is exactly what is a death doula? What do death doulas do?
So I am someone who is non-medical, non-judgmental, who's bringing comfort through spiritual, physical, psychological, emotional support, and a guide to individuals and their loved ones at end of life, whether it is at a time when a person has a life-threatening illness or a terminal diagnosis. So I provide that compassionate presence.
Yeah. And Kathy, what brought you to this career? Just interesting.
After retirement a couple of years ago, I knew that I was meant to continue to help people. And the biggest thing was actually listening to a voice that told me that I was supposed to help ease pain. And that is one of the reasons, by my being a deep listener and helping guide individuals as they get closer to the end of their lives, that presence, that holding space is a very sacred journey. I often start out with an in-depth social history, because the more I know, the more I can be really present for the individual. And it becomes less scary for the person who is moving towards the end of their life. Approaching death is not an easy task, but it can be one of love and joy. Some individuals have a lot of unfinished business in their lives. And so because I have been a social worker and a geriatric mental health specialist, it gives me a unique ability to be really present to individuals who are wanting to do a life review and some legacy work.
So how would you differ as a death doula than hospice, let's say?
So hospice, which I work closely with when a person is a client with me. In fact, I'm always glad, and most people already have an engaged hospice. So I help fill the gap that hospice does not have the ability to do. When we talk about not having the ability to do that, it is because Medicare will only cover just a certain amount of time.
Yep.
Whereas I have the opportunity, if somebody wants to do sit and talk with me for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, they can. And so, but a hospice social worker or chaplain is often moving on to the next person that they need to meet and provide care for. So I fill the gap, and I work in conjunction with hospice team, which can include the nurse, the social worker, the bath aide, the nursing assistant, and the chaplain as well.
Right. And it's that non-medical piece. So
yes, it's a non-medical.
Lots more freedom.
Yes, indeed.
To meet the person's